Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into the world of retro realms, Halloween, and we're breaking down how Michael Myers scales in the game, his connection to the Overlord, the Nightmare Realm, and why he might actually reach high 4D potential. We'll go over all the lore, in-game mechanics, cutscene dialogue, and even link it to some broader Evil Dead mythos to show why Michael is more powerful than he really is. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos. So first, the Nightmare Realm isn't just a dream world or a simple pocket dimension. In the game, the Overlord created this realm, and he explicitly says he's the owner. Even if some might argue he's not the owner, it doesn't matter, because he can alter and strengthen the realm at will, giving him full control over its structure and the monsters inside. Another thing to note is that when Michael comes in, the Overlord recruits Myers, gives him the knife, and sends him out to kill. Not just in the realm, but across the world itself. Why? Every kill strengthens the Overlord and the Nightmare Realm, helping him move closer to his ultimate goal, making the realm complete. And what does complete mean? It means that as the Overlord grows stronger, he could potentially bring the entire Nightmare Realm into our world, filling it with monsters and horror. It isn't just a speculation, since in the game, he states that monsters are created across space and time, not just in a small isolated pocket. The only reason they aren't fully unleashed in the real world yet is because the Overlord isn't strong enough yet. And so if the Overlord owns and manipulates a dimension that interacts with reality, then Michael is his agent, scaling to the Overlord's developmental power over the realm, since the realm is already affecting the world and could eventually expand universally. As we can see, Michael acts as the Overlord's agent, while Michael moves through a level. Even though the game doesn't show exact dialogue of the Overlord saying, "I own the realm," official previews and reviews confirm that he recruits Michael and gives him the knife, then lets him switch between the normal world and the Nightmare Realm. Now that we've established the cutscene evidence and the Overlord's role, let's talk about why this means Michael Myers could be considered extremely powerful on a high-end note. First, we all know what we covered. The Overlord controls and manipulates the Nightmare Realm, a dimension that directly interacts with the real world. Michael is recruited to act under the Overlord's guidance. Every kill he makes strengthens the realm and brings the Overlord closer to making the Nightmare Realm complete, meaning fully integrated with reality. So what does this mean for Michael Myers' scaling? Well, it's shown Michael is directly tied to a dimension that exists outside normal 3D space, because the Nightmare Realm interacts with reality as well. Any agent that acts as a proxy for a realm-controlling entity can be argued to scale to their master's dimensional influence. In retro realms, Halloween, he's working directly for the Overlord, and everything he does actually feeds this Nightmare Realm the Overlord controls. In the game, the Overlord tells him things like, "It is but a fraction of the power I shall grant you upon the fulfillment of our pact. And the more you kill, the more powerful I grow." So every kill Michael makes literally strengthens the Overlord in the realm itself. The Overlord even says he's created countless monsters and realms across time and space, and welcomes Michael to his kingdom of nightmares, which proves he owns and manipulates this whole higher dimensional domain. He even warns, "Soon the depravity of this world will echo that of my Nightmare Realm," showing that this realm doesn't just sit somewhere separate, it actually interacts with reality. So if you think about it, Michael isn't really nowhere aiming anywhere lower going off of these Overlord dialogues. He's tied to a dimension that can affect the real world, which is why it makes sense to put him relatively to the Overlord, or blatantly above him. It's even stated and implied by an official game source that in the Ash vs. Evil Dead chapter, he's scheming to get a hold of the Necronomicon, the book of ultimate dark power, intending to use its magic to further his own evil goals. His goal is consistent. He wants to warp reality into a nightmare dimension under his control, whether through recruiting powerful killers or harnessing ancient, forbidden magic like the Necronomicon. According to the Evil Dead wiki, the Necronomicon contains passages that allow the reader to open a rift in time and space. It's also implied that the book is an object that exists in numerous alternate realities. Its origin often varies from universe to universe. The most common origin of the Necronomicon is related to a race of ancient beings known as the Dark Ones, who in many worlds crafted the book at the dawn of humanity in the region of the globe now known as the Middle East. It's important to note that the implication that the Necronomicon exists across numerous alternate realities, with its origin changing depending on the universe, suggests that it functions as a multiversal constant rather than a one-off object. In other words, it doesn't simply travel between universes. It persists across them, adapting to different cosmologies while retaining the same core power. Because it was created by the Dark Ones at the dawn of humanity, beings that predate and influence reality itself, the book's magic operates on a level where space, time, and even universal boundaries are tools rather than limits. For its Necronomicon conclusion, taking all of this together, it's repeated implied as an object that exists across multiple realities, opens rifts in time and space, alters or resets timelines, and enables the creation and control of monsters throughout entire realms, shows that its influence operates on a full space-time continuum level at minimum. When these effects extend across multiple realms with their own timelines, the scope naturally escalates into multiversal stuff, rather than remaining localized or planetary. Because the Necronomicon's power originates from the Dark Ones, entities that predate humanity and consistently operate beyond normal causal limits, the book treats space, time, and universal boundaries as manipulable constructs rather than hard restrictions. As a result, scaling the Necronomicon to at least Universe Plus, low 2C, is justified, with higher multi-scaling supported, depending on how many distinct space-time realms are affected. This cements the Necronomicon as a genuine reality-warping artifact, not just a narrative device for summoning demons or isolated supernatural events. If the Overlord creates, owns, or fundamentally alters a realm that is powered by the Necronomicon, then that realm is not an independent structure acting on its own. It is an extension of the Overlord's authority and power. On VS Battles Wiki, creating or sustaining a realm means the character must be capable of generating and controlling the amount of energy and structure that realm contains. When that realm is shown to operate across space and time, it qualifies as a full space-time continuum rather than a simple pocket dimension. As a result, anyone who can shape, strengthen, or rewrite such a realm necessarily scales to at least the realm's level, because their power is what defines its existence and behavior. This isn't just possession of an artifact, it's active manipulation and maintenance of a space-time structure. Since the Necronomicon is the power source, and the Overlord is the one applying that power, altering the realm, empowering its inhabitants, and benefiting from its expansion, the scaling doesn't stop at the artifact. It transfers to the Overlord himself, placing him at a minimum of the same tier as the realm he controls, rather than below it. And also the argument is any justified, since that an artifact's power does not scale to its user. It only applies when the artifact functions independently and the user acts as a passive holder. And that is not the case here. The Necronomicon is a power source whose effects are actively channeled, directed, and applied by the Overlord. He does not merely possess the book, he uses its power to create, maintain, and fundamentally alter a realm that operates across space and time. On VS Battles Wiki, consistent empowerment, control, and application of an artifact's power is sufficient for scaling, especially when the character's influence directly shapes the structure and strength of a space-time continuum. Because the realm weakens or strengthens based on the Overlord's actions and goals, the power cannot be separated from him. In this context, the Necronomicon functions as an amplifier or conduit, not an independent actor, which means the Overlord legitimately scales to at least the level of the realm empowered by it. Now, to my conclusion, it's implied he is directly empowered by the Overlord, an entity who governs the Nightmare Realm and benefits from the death and fear Michael spreads across it. Because the Nightmare Realm operates across space and time and grows stronger through Michael's actions, his role isn't incidental, it's essential. Michael functions as a conduit for the realm's expansion, meaning his feats scale beyond isolated killings and into realm-level influence. Even if he isn't the architect of the realm, consistent empowerment by a space-time level entity places him far above standard monsters of entities in the verse. When you consider both the source of his empowerment and the scope of his influence, Myers is essentially acting as the Overlord's hand in the material world, amping him and putting Myers above the Overlord, scaling up this outputs. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe so you won't miss future content diving into character scaling, lore, and power discussions.